Allie, tell me that sound was just the AC.
Unless our studio is haunted by ratings ghosts, probably not.
Perfect. Then we've officially entered spooky season.
That's right. Welcome back to Speedy Global News, where we unpack the world's most fascinating events, cultures, and histories. And today, we're diving into one of the most mysterious, global, and sugar-filled nights of the year, Halloween.
Pumpkins, costumes, and kids on sugar highs. But behind all the candy, there is a surprisingly ancient story. A story that started long before trick-or-treating, with bonfires, ghosts, and a festival that celebrated the thin line between life and death.
Exactly. So grab your broomstick or your latte, and let's travel back 2,000 years to where Halloween began. Our story begins in the misty hills of ancient Ireland, where the Celts marked the end of the harvest season with a festival called Samhain, pronounced Samhain. This was more than a party. It was the spiritual New Year, the night when summer's light faded and winter's darkness took over.
So basically, nature's version of a goodbye sunshine, hello frostbite party.
Something like that. The Celts believed that on this night, October 31st, the veil between the living and the dead became thin, allowing spirits to cross into our world.
So ghosts could actually pop in for a visit?
Yes, and people wanted to welcome their ancestors' spirits, but also protect themselves from evil ones. To keep balance, they lit huge bonfires on hilltops, wore animal skin costumes, and left food offerings outside their doors for passing spirits.
Okay, so ancient Halloween was like, here's a snack, please don't haunt me.
Exactly. They also believed druids, Celtic priests, could communicate with the dead during Samhain. They'd predict the future, offer blessings, and help guide communities into the long, cold months ahead.
So Halloween started as this big night of transformation, a mix of fear, faith, and maybe a little fortune-telling.
Yes, it was deeply symbolic. Samhain was about honoring death as part of life, recognizing that endings are natural beginnings.
Wow, so the first Halloween wasn't just spooky, it was spiritual. But when did this ghostly night become church-approved?
That happened centuries later. Around the 8th century, the Christian church began spreading through Europe and wanted to replace pagan festivals with Christian ones. Instead of erasing Samhain, the church did something clever. They rebranded it.
Oh, I see where this is going. Introducing All Saints' Day, now featuring fewer spirits, more saints.
Exactly. Pope Gregory III declared November 1st as All Saints' Day or All Hallows' Day to honor saints and martyrs. The night before became All Hallows Eve, which over time evolved into Halloween.
So basically, the church took the existing party and added heavenly marketing.
Right. But people didn't completely give up their old customs. They blended them. So you'd still see bonfires, costumes, and rituals, but now alongside prayers and church gatherings.
So it became a night that united both worlds, the sacred and the supernatural.
Exactly. It turned into a celebration about remembering the dead, respecting the unknown, and facing fear, but with faith instead of terror.
Okay, spooky Europe, check. But how did this all travel across the ocean?
It came with Irish and Scottish immigrants in the 1800s. They brought their Samhain and All Hallows traditions to North America. And slowly, the holiday began to evolve.
So Halloween landed in the U.S. with a suitcase full of ghost stories and weird vegetables.
Pretty much. In Ireland, people carved turnips to make lanterns that scared off evil spirits. But in America, they discovered the pumpkin, big, bright, and perfect for carving. That's how the jack-o'-lantern tradition was born.
The Great Pumpkin Upgrade. Poor turnips. They got ghosted.
Exactly. As the 19th century went on, Halloween became more about community than superstition. There were parties, games, and autumn celebrations like apple bobbing and storytelling. By the early 20th century, it turned into a family-friendly festival focused on fun and imagination.
So instead of ghosts visiting humans, now humans were visiting neighbors for snacks.
Yup, and that brings us to the rise of trick-or-treating.
The most delicious part of Halloween. When did the candy invasion begin?
The phrase trick-or-treat appeared in the 1920s and 30s in North America. It came from the playful idea that kids would say, "Give us a treat or we'll play a trick on you."
So, sweet blackmail?
Exactly. At first, some adults didn't love it. They thought it was too mischievous. But after World War II, when sugar rationing ended, candy companies saw an opportunity.
Ah, capitalism strikes again, but in a chocolate wrapper.
Yup. They promoted candy as the perfect, safe, and fun Halloween tradition. And by the 1950s, trick-or-treating was a nationwide ritual. Today, Americans spend over $3 billion on candy every Halloween.
And about 90% of that is probably in my kitchen drawer. So now Halloween has gone global, right?
Totally. Different countries celebrate it in unique ways. For instance, in Japan, cities like Shibuya host massive street parades. It's more about costumes and cosplay than candy. In Mexico, it connects with Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, a colorful tradition honoring loved ones who've passed. Even Thailand and Singapore host Halloween events in malls, theme parks, and cafes, a blend of Western fun and local style.
So Halloween started with bonfires in Ireland and ended with ghost lattes in Asia? That's globalization for you.
Exactly. It shows how humans everywhere love stories, costumes, and a touch of mystery.
All right, Polly, I'm feeling brave. Hit me with some Halloween trivia.
Okay, first question. Why are black cats linked to bad luck?
Because they keep walking across witches' Wi-Fi signals.
Close. In the Middle Ages, people believed witches kept black cats as companions. But fun fact, in Japan and the UK, black cats are actually considered lucky.
So it's all about geography. Cursed in one place, blessed in another. Cat PR really is complicated.
Next one. Did you know candy corn was originally called chicken feed when it was invented in the 1880s?
Ooh, that sounds like something you'd buy for your pet chicken, not your kids.
True, but back then, people loved farm themes, so it made sense. And one last fact. The world's largest pumpkin ever recorded weighed over 2,700 pounds. That's heavier than a car.
Imagine carving that thing. You'd need a ladder, a saw, and a full day off work.
You know, what I love about Halloween is how it's changed. From a night of fear and superstition into a celebration of creativity, community, and imagination.
Yeah, it started as a way to understand death, but it's really about how humans face fear by turning it into fun.
Exactly. Whether it's spirits, saints, or superheroes, Halloween reminds us that even in the darkness, there's room for laughter and light.
Beautifully said, Polly. So, to everyone out there carving pumpkins, dressing up, or watching spooky movies, we hope your night is full of chills, thrills, and maybe just a little candy.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
And if you hear footsteps behind you tonight, don't worry, it's just me sneaking for another chocolate bar.